President Trump, as we brought up the Truth Social post, but we didn't get really to talk about it. Second quarter GDP just out, 3%, way better than expected. Too late, he's talking about Jay Powell, must now lower the rate. There's no inflation, let people buy and refinance their homes. Join us now. Another real estate guy, in addition to President Trump, Richard LeFrak of the LeFrak Organization and CEO. Sometimes we said, Richard, it's good to see you. It's been a while. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
We
nice
said,
to be back.
Not only do all presidents like lower interest rates, and they're always jawboning, the Fed, but you put a real estate guy in as president, and what you're going to...
We all love it. Come on, we're addicted to that, those low interest rates.
Can you make a logical case, given where the economy is, that the way you see it right now, do you think rates should be lower from Jay Powell?
Do I think rates should be lower? Yes, I think rates should be lower.
You think he should cut rates?
Well, because we know that the inflation is under control for the time being. You know, if the rationale for high rates is inflation, then there's a case to be made for the fact that there's no inflation.
We've been waiting for inflation to get bad based on the tariffs. Every time we get a number coming, we've got another one coming this week, and we're again expecting it to be
We were
bad.
also waiting for a recession. What happened to that?
Right. So you don't think, why aren't the tariffs causing at least some cost increases, whether it's not, maybe it's not inflation, but you would think that we'd see...
It's one of the great mysteries of the world, since all the academics have predicted that prices would go up as a result of these tariffs, but they kind of haven't, and so we're all waiting for the shoe to drop, but maybe it's not going to drop.
How many apartments you got in New York City? Last count.
A lot.
I always like asking you that because
I know you like asking me that.
I
but
do, because I'm jealous, and I think you're...
The answer is all the same. You know, I'm a private...
Isn't it 100? It's like...
It's enough.
Okay.
It's enough.
There's a place called LeFrak City.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
In the city.
Right.
Okay. So you know, I mean, we can ask you about whether shelter costs as a component to inflation have come down, have they?
Well, actually, except for New York City, in many places in the country, rents are down. Where there's been a lot of overbuilding, for example, in the Southeast and the Southwest, rents are either flat or down in many places because there's been a eruption of supply that occurred when interest rates were low and there was a lot of building, and that created the environment for new construction, and new construction created new supply.
Does that explain part of the reason that inflation hasn't gone up from the tariffs? That there are other parts of the...
That's a more complicated question than I can...
You can't... You don't know why.
I'm not a microeconomist.
You don't know why inflation...
I'm just a damn bricklayer.
Okay. How...
You know, I mean,
is the economy in a position where you think that it would need a rate cut to keep going? Or
no.
The stock market?
No, I don't think...
Then why cut?
Why not? Why not? I think it would help development business because that's one area where interest rate sensitivity is very high.
In terms of short-term interest rates, the question is what's it going to do to mortgages? I mean, that's the other thing we all think all they can really do is futz with the...
Right, they can only play with the short rate.
Right.
They can only play with the short rate.
They can't.
That's good. They
just saying, this whole idea that you're going to somehow change the long-term outcome...
That's not an expression you'd hear outside of New York.
Can you tell someone to futz off?
I didn't say that.
No,
I
but
said
could you? I mean, you might...
Play with is what that word suggests.
Anyway, it would be helpful to increase the supply of housing for interest rates to go down, because that's a cost of a consumer that's very sensitive, that the consumer is sensitive to. It's like gasoline. They pay their mortgage every day. They pay their rent every month.
But fair to say it's still a questionable call. You could come down on either side of that line.
You could come down on either side, and I guess that's what's happening with the Fed, that they're just kind of hanging out.
How long you known this guy in the White House? 30 years? 40? What's wrong? You can answer.
Over 60.
So the only reason I'm asking you is, did you know that some of this stuff was not, there's sometimes planned chaos. Did you see a method to the madness all along?
He's always, operated like that. Throw the hand grenade in the room, see what's going to happen. I mean, that's kind of one of...
Were you always optimistic about the end result of a lot of what's been going on?
You mean what's happening right now?
Yes.
Yes.
With tariffs.
Yes. I think
big
you know
beautiful-
what I think all of hysteria about his methods. You just have to know who he is to know that he's a negotiator and he's going to start at a high point and then try to make the best deal he can. And he's smart about it, and I admire his style.
Okay, I figure you could say that. 60 years.
60 plus years.
60 plus years, which
Yes.
is pretty amazing. So, at this point, Richard, what are you doing with your business, which owns a lot
Well,
of apartments?
what am I doing?
Where are you developing? How's your Miami property?
right now. I'm developing actively in two places. One is Jersey City, where I built a giant complex I think we have 20,000 people living there now. And I have a big project in Miami called Sol Mia, which is comparable to that it's underway now. I think it will eventually have 5,000 apartments there. And also, a whole, small, big.
What do you make of what's happening in this city and the politics of where it's going, what that might mean for your business?
It's very terrifying, to be honest with you, because it's the center of capitalism, and we're talking about having a socialist mayor here. I mean, they have one in London.
Right.
They have had one, I guess, in Paris.
If I said to you, you're in charge of finding a way to make it more affordable to live in New York City, when it comes to rent and the like, you would want to increase supply somehow,
yes,
I would imagine.
Right, you would.
So the question is, what kind of regulations would need to either change? What kind of incentives would need to be put in? What could you?
Well, there's two.
I said you have 5 years to genuinely do this.
There's two things that you could do. One thing you could do immediately, which is to unlock the 40 or 50,000 apartments that are stuck in rent stabilization, that owners are basically mothballed. That's a little too local idea.
And if you did that, you think rents would go down?
More affordable apartments would be in the market immediately. The other thing is, and everybody's Mr. AI is going to do this and Mr. AI is going to do that. But one thing Mr. AI probably can do is, speed the construction process a little bit.